We can run as long as you want.
All right.
Yeah.
If you are dying, you tell me when.
Oh,
It's informal. You can say on the podcast, "Wow, guys, this is fucking terrible, and I would like to leave now." You're allowed to do that as well. Okay, I love it. Hey, everybody. Welcome to This Probably Doesn't Matter. I am Luke Atkinson. Sitting to my left, as usual, is my lovely wife, Katie.
Hello.
Hi, Katie. And joining us today, Wenatchee local, Matthew Pippin.
That's me.
That is you. Matthew, you are a theater guy?
You can say
what do you
thespian.
say?
This
A
is the
thespian?
21st no, thespian is. Although I'd love to open a thespian bar.
Hold on. What's the difference in those two words?
There's nothing. It's,
Okay.
It's just thespian.
Thespian without a B.
There's a P.
Oh, I was yeah, it is with a P.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, I was putting the B in there.
Yeah, you don't say I'm a theater person. You say I'm a thespian.
Okay, I like it. And
So.
not a thespian,
No.
which I wanted
No.
that. I wanted that B.
No, I've known a few, but it's
that
thespian.
B sounds really good in there. Okay, you are a thespian. You dabble in some comedy also.
I'm a dancing monkey.
I dig it.
I will do anything. Like next, I don't know when the hell you're gonna put this up.
Hopefully soon.
But like next Wednesday at Radar Station, I'm posing nude for artists.
Okay.
Oh,
And-
fantastic.
Yeah, well, I'd always wanted to do it, and last year I got to do it for the first time, and because that's like the first art, on caveman drawing on walls. So I thought that's something I'd always wanted to do, and then with Ron having the Radar Station and the gem that it is, I got to do it last year, and it was fantastic. I sat down. I'm going to bore the hell out of you. with
Please,
this.
no, you won't.
I
So-
sat down on the, I had everything off. I had the robe on, took it off, and laying there, and I'd heard before. It's kind of like dancing. You pick a spot on the wall, and that's where you focus and just kind of let yourself go. And I sat down, and I was there 10, 15 seconds, and this fly
Oh, no.
out of nowhere picks the shortest runway possible in Wenatchee and zzz, right onto the pipstick.
Oh yeah.
And starts tap dancing there. And I thought, this is my first time. I want to be a professional with this. I want to, and so just pretend like it's not there. But in my head, I'm just thinking, come on. And it finally flew away, and it wasn't there.
Did
long.
anyone draw it on?
My mother did ask if it was there for size comparison.
Oh. Wow,
And,
brutal.
oh no, it's mother.
Oh
And,
goodness.
What was darling though is one of the ladies that was drawing. She said, "I almost wanted to swat it away." And
That's funny. So you're a man with no body issues, or is that like the ultimate face your fear and deal with them? I mean, what's the deal?
no, I know I have body issues that
Oh, I can't
there's things I'm still not comfortable with. I've lost a lot. I've always been fat, and what year is this? 2019.
Says Matthew to Luke across the desk right now.
Well,
Man.
no. When I graduated high school, I was 326 pounds. And then after I lived in New York and I would be out walking and things like that, I would
Yeah.
be, my weight would fluctuate between 270 and 280. And then Jamie Donegan here in the Valley
Okay.
started doing the Hot August night shows. And because he drinks, it's my only guess, is he cast me as Magenta in the Rocky Horror Show, the sexy French maid. And
Okay.
everything. I was 280 something starting that, and in 5.5 weeks of rehearsals and performances total, I lost 23 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Doing that show.
Wow.
And at first it was, they had me in the corset and the 4.5-inch platform heels, and I thought, well, okay, I can sing for you or I can dance, but not both. And I was doing it fine by the end of it. So to make a long story longer, then I got La Cage aux Folles, which is like the musical version of the Birdcage. It's the only way people know what the hell I'm
Okay.
talking about. And I was playing the Nathan Lane character. La Cage aux Folles was first, Birdcage second, but nobody knows what the hell I talk about when I say La Cage. And so I was 280 something, and I thought, well, okay, if I can lose 20 pounds by the time we start rehearsals, I know I can do it in the course of the heels, blah, blah, blah. And so I put myself on a strict diet, and I stuck with it, and I lost 20 pounds by April. And
Yeah.
I was like, hey, we don't start rehearsals till July. Let's just keep going and see what I do. Well, I lost 54 pounds by the time it was all said
That's
and
huge.
done. I was,
In how long?
It was between February to July.
Wow.
And so I
Good
thought,
for you.
6 months. Okay, wow.
Yeah. So I thought, okay.
That's huge.
And I was fine with
That's
that.
huge.
and
How'd you do it?
Just diet.
Just
All I
diet.
did was solely diet.
Okay.
And, well, then I got
I'm looking for like motivation over here on this side of the desk. Like,
Well,
okay.
it was, for me, it was fear was my motivation.
that's
Is
great.
I wanted that. Part is written for a late 40s, early 50-year-old guy, and I'm 35.
Uh-huh.
And so I thought I was extremely miscast playing somebody so young, or so, playing somebody older
Yeah.
and being as young as I was.
Sure.
Like talking about how, 20 years we've been together, and 20 years ago at that point I was 15.
Yeah,
It was
that'd be-
gross.
Not something to
I
connect
was in
with.
France. Things are a little.
Yeah.
it's freer over there, I'm
Well,
sure.
then I
right?
got the full Monty last year, and so I went back on the diet, but I could not get past, especially with my character description. I was described as skinny-legged and pigeon-chested, pretty face. Had that, but I did not have the pigeon chest and the skinnier legs. Well, and the diet just wasn't enough, and so I started going to the gym, and I went 6 days a week, and I solely did elliptical, very minimal weight because I didn't want to bulk up or anything like that. And,
Right.
But 6 days a week, and I'd be on the elliptical for an hour, and I lost the next 30 pounds, and I got down to 199,
There it is.
and I was like,
What
okay,
do I do?
that's it. And then I don't want to lose any more because then I look disgusting.
I got to get under 2. I definitely have to get under 2, but that's
Not I,
It'll be
not-
a different. It'll be a different.
But
journey.
full
But
I
you
look
wouldn't
sick.
believe me. 2013. How long ago was that? 6 years ago. I was 155 pounds. I was running like 35, 40 miles a week.
Ooh.
I was hooked on it. Maybe to the point of having. I'm a bit of an addicted personality, so I
Little bit.
think that was my thing back then, and it's Keystone Light now. This podcast brought to you by Keystone Light as usual. So it'd be good to get some healthier habits than what I have right now.
Did you take photos away from your Facebook? Sorry, hold on.
Who did?
Luke.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh no, I'm on there. I'm Skinny Luke's on there somewhere. Okay, so
Sorry.
Oh, it's all right. I
So
was
keep going.
you're a local guy,
yes.
Okay.
I was born in Central Washington Hospital.
right here,
Yeah.
stone's throw away. Mm-hmm. Okay.
You could see it from the roof of your house. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, we hear the traffic for it frequently, so. Well, that's incredible. You look great.
I always have, and nobody believed me.
You always have looked great.
Yeah, that was my joke then. Hey, look at that. Yeah.
That's it.
That's
One,
skinny Luke.
155,
Well, see,
160.
but because I was so fat for so damn long that I have what I call my human Shar-Pei body, and it's just going to take years for it to tighten up, and it slowly is. So I don't like looking at myself without a shirt on or anything like that. But I can look from like the chest up and be like, because up here is fine, but then you get down here and it's a sad, saggy alien.
You look great. You look great, man.
Totally.
Yeah.
No, I mean, but it's for body dysmorphia. We all have some form
absolutely.
of it.
Of
So back
course.
to the.
So
that
you're
came
doing-
from drawing.
And yet,
you're
but
doing
I
that.
don't mind people looking at me though. Isn't that weird?
Okay, so you're doing
That's
another
a good
one.
thing.
I don't
That's
like to
the
look at
best-
me, but I don't mind other people doing it.
See, I don't like either.
But you're so beauul. I don't
Katie
know why.
is really
From
pretty.
here
Holy cow. How long do you have to sit to get drawn?
Well, that was because I had rehearsal that night, and I double booked myself, which was dumb, and I said, well, I can be here till 6:30, and the artists were late. Shocker.
Of course.
Right.
And so I thought, okay, 20 minutes. I can pose for 20 minutes. And I kind of went into this kind of euphoric state of just breathing and being present and just holding this pose. And one of the artists says, do you want a time check? And I thought, because 20 minutes must have passed by now.
Right.
And it had been 45 minutes
Oh,
that
wow.
I was sitting there. And I gotta go. I'm
That's
late.
pretty wild.
Ran to rehearsal. It was so, and I had no clue that time had passed. That's why I'm looking forward to doing it again. It was,
Yeah.
it was
Well, that's
such
exciting.
It was such a rushing thrill.
So how many come to draw? Do you
I think
know?
I had 6. Well, stupid me. I didn't even think about it that it was first Friday art walk. And so it was the 6 artists sitting there, but then all these people were
Oh, we're
walking
coming
in.
through? That's awesome.
And I can't acknowledge them because I'm pointing. And it seemed
man.
like it was the heterosexual men that looked the most.
Oh, of course.
Because they're sizing me up.
Yeah.
I'm hung like a Clydesdale hamster. I have no issues there. But they kind of wanted to check and see if, who's
see.
I'm better than that.
Oh man, yeah, I couldn't. Even if I could get comfortable with the people there to have the in and out traffic, dude,
It was fascinating.
you
Super
say that, I would call it brutal, but yeah, that's great.
Wasn't thinking about that.
Yeah, perfect. So what is your role in local theater here? Are you on the?
I'm not on any. And I'm
You're not on a board. Are you on a board?
No.
Okay,
No.
so what are?
In fact, here's a little tidbit.
Yeah.
There was a local board. I won't name it because I have to work in this
Great.
town. I won't name it, but they had a board member position open up, and due to a little snafu miscommunication this last year, they accidentally, because normally they'll ask someone and they will come in and say, "Would you like to be on the board?"
Right.
Sure, and why not, or whatever. Well, there was a snafu, and they put it out there, and people could submit applications.
Oh.
Well, I got an email after the application process is saying thanks, but no thanks. We're not
Now.
And just a moment. This is okay. I
He's
swear.
good at interrupting,
I do
so
labor,
don't
but I will. I'm used to being interrupted. Yes. But anyway, I got this email. Thanks, but no thanks. And I said, well, that's great, but I didn't apply. And I got the response back, and this is from the president. Well, we heard you might be interested.
Oh.
And it's like, well, now I know where I stand.
That's wild. Is
Yeah.
there?
Rude. Super rude. I'm sorry.
That's
That's
like
awful.
I have marvelous people that I get to work with.
That
at
you
the
don't hear
theaters.
them on the podcast.
Yeah.
I know my notifications. Is it not a public company? How do these work? Are they non-profits? Wouldn't they be open to the public
Probably
to apply to?
depends
Oh
on the
yeah,
facility.
They can be. I mean, they're made up. Boards are made up by several different,
Sure.
members
yeah.
of the community
Yeah.
and things like that. And I honestly don't know much about them. There's sometimes I want to strangle them.
Yeah, of course.
You know, they're-
How many local theater groups are there? What are we looking at?
Well, I mean, I couldn't even tell you how many dance companies there are in town. There's the the
there's
Dance
multiple,
Creations.
yeah.
There's Fabulous Feet.
Sure.
I know I'm missing some out there. There's
Yeah.
Michelle McCormick has a group for stage kids.
Okay.
They're in town.
DC Creations.
DC Creations. Joylene Laws Joylene Scott. She's been married for how long? And I still call her Joylene Laws. And
That happens.
it
all
really
the time.
does. And
I'm still Polson. It doesn't matter how old I get.
and Mission Creek Players, the Riverside Playhouse, the Music Theater of Wenatchee's, what they're called,
Yes,
the
yes.
Performing Arts Center. Jamie Donegan with his Hot August Night stuff, and that's not necessarily a group. It's just that's something that you're lucky to be a part of.
Sure.
Right.
Jamie's just he is like working with Willy Wonka. You hear these things and you think, well, that's not gonna happen, and then it does. It's you just gotta blindly follow him through the chocolate factory, and it's everything. Strike that, reverse it, and it's such a fast process. You work 3 weeks, you play 3 weeks, get paid, you're out.
Oh, interesting.
And I love that. I love.
So you
doing that.
audition and then you are compensated?
Oh yeah.
Oh, interesting.
No,
I
I'm
had
lucky.
no idea.
I'm paid for most of the gigs I do in
Oh,
town.
that's fantastic.
And of course you never know. I could be surprised. Like I went up to Lake Chelan this last weekend and with Connie Hung. Jonathan's is but Connie Hung's the drag name, and Jonathan Sullivan. And we used to have a drag troupe in town. The Levelers played at Club Level because we did gay night once a week at Club Level, and I called it skeet shooting.
Was
once a
Level
week.
the third floor of the build? Where was
The
Level?
BPO
BPO.
building?
Yeah.
And then it moved down to where the Hurricane Lounge
And was
That's
that
now
Scotty's place? Was he
couldn't
part of
tell
that?
Scotty Backstrom?
Yeah.
No, he was there a lot. I saw him a lot, but,
I have a very loose connection to that fellow, so I
alright.
was curious.
I got that.
I work with him.
I'm not that loose.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay.
But anyway, like I did this drag show,
love
and in
that
2
so
songs, I got $87 in tips.
No
In
shit.
2 songs,
Wow.
that's That's $12 a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love
I'm
it.
just gonna start stripping from
I
now
think
on.
I think so.
And I work with the Radar Dames, the
Yes.
Yes.
radar station.
That's
I'm a part
Shout
of
out,
that.
and I
So
wanted to. I
good.
definitely wanted to touch on that. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, Moxie Rose is that she's got a hell of a group together. together.
Yeah.
It's fun, sexy, beautiful people that just have a wonderful time taking their clothes off. And I love being a part of that.
Danny and Amanda invited us to the Star Wars one at Apple Blossom, and we weren't going to go. We had just people over that day, and,
Yeah.
and they invited us.
And it's Apple Blossom. Who wants to go outside?
It was Apple Blossom weekend, so
So they invited us, and it was like, okay, yeah, we'll come, and I'm super glad we did.
it was.
Like,
We had a blast. It was
so
fun to
much
see.
fun.
So
That was a lot of fun, and I get a kick out of doing that.
Full
stuff,
House,
too.
2 shows.
Yeah, 2 shows. That was great, back to back like that. I mean,
Yeah.
because you do a matinee with a show, you get a couple hours off in between.
Right.
That one was an hour turnaround.
Yeah.
Is that nice, honestly, though, to like mindset wise, so you don't have to take time to like.
Oh yeah,
decline and then get back up.
I don't like matinees myself because so a lot of the shows I work on, and especially ones I've directed, they're very dark, like they're nighttime feels, and when you go to a matinee, you come out and the sun's still shining, and it's
Yeah.
just like, where
Yeah.
am I? It discombobulates.
It's almost like you're hungover, but
yeah,
you're not.
yeah, and so I'm not a giant fan of matinees, but that quick turnaround for an hour was just like, all right, come on, get back to work.
Yeah, that's great.
Perfect.
Touch up the makeup and
Yeah.
go.
So, as far as theater goes, who do you work most with here? Are you everyone?
Well, I have a core group of people that I know when I see them, and they're on the cast list.
Sure.
And there's marvelous people from Leavenworth, David Harville and Martin Cagle. I almost screwed up her name. I'm so sorry, Martin. But those are darling theater gods to me, and I will work with them. Oh, there's another theater group, the Full Circle Theater Company. They're doing a Shakespeare in the Park kind of thing.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
For the pack that
interesting.
opens this is June now. Yeah, it opens next month. They're doing
Cool.
The Tempest.
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah, and
Yes.
that's going to be fabulous. And
It's in the park, you said?
well, it's going to
Or
be
is
in
it
the
in the
courtyard
park? Oh.
of the Performing Arts Center.
Oh, I saw that. Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
right outside. But theater in the park kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
To it. And Shakespeare in the Park, I suppose. I don't know.
It's nice down there.
Yeah.
It's perfect
It's
setting.
and it's nice that in the evening it'll cool off down around there. You got the fountain going, and
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
So between all of these that happen, are you mostly at the pack with what they're doing, or what are the shows you usually kind of migrate towards?
oh, I typically migrate towards things that have a shorter rehearsal process.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Nothing too long.
I'm a
Too
snob
much.
that way. Because, Apple Blossom, they cast in December. The show goes up for 2 weeks in May. And whenever I'm asked, would I do something like that? And no, because I could be dead by then.
Do they rehearse
6
the entire
months.
time?
Yes.
Seriously?
And they'll
Are
say,
they better off for it?
remember, I do want to work in this town. And,
Okay. That's all you need to say that.
well, no, honestly, but here's one for you, though. There's this Facebook group that I'm a part of.
Sure.
And this girl was reaching out, high school student, and saying, and this was in May, and she said, how can I get people excited about our show's gonna open soon, and it's in August, and how can I get people, and I'm like, it's May.
Yeah.
Wait till the end of July.
Yeah, when it's gonna open.
I've been dealing with that on the couple of comedy things that I do. So I have one coming up next week.
Yeah.
June 28th. Everyone come check out.
It's my
Tyler
parents'
Smith,
wedding
Mike
anniversary.
Coletta. I choose to not even get worried about these tickets. This is only the second one I've done, but I learned from the first one that until it's like 3 days before, I can't worry about ticket sales.
Well, no, because you never know.
I just
Well,
can't.
something small like that. I mean, obviously, coming from where I come, arena wise.
Yeah.
I mean, our biggest sell up is within 6 months. So, one show we've been on since November, and it's slowly taken off, but now we're gaining a lot of traction. So, it's just kind of interesting in terms of what the show is, the capacity, and how well known.
Well, like this girl that I was talking about,
Yeah.
and she's in Australia in a high school, and they've been rehearsing since September last year, and the show opens in
wow.
August.
Wow.
And they've been rehearsing. No.
That's
No.
That's a
wild.
long commitment.
That's a long commitment for one show that plays for 3 nights.
Really?
the only thing I
I
agree
thought you were
about
about to say
matinees.
3 months.
3 nights.
And that
No,
would
no,
have made
wow.
a lot of sense.
No, it still wouldn't to me. Like, because I could do a show for 6 months if I really liked it.
Yeah.
I could do a show for 6 months. There's some I've done in the Valley that I still lament. I miss them. There's some that I've done elsewhere that they couldn't have closed soon enough, and that it was,
Yeah.
got it done.
Question: would you know like how long does Broadway?
Oh,
Give
you
that-
rehearsed that? I did one show on a legitimate Broadway stage, and those you rehearse in a studio. It's the Gerald Lynch Theater on I'm going to screw this up now. 10th and 58th. It's in John Jay College.
Okay.
And we did Metamorphosis and got to play on this stage. And you rehearse in a studio, then you move it to the theater. Because theaters are so expensive, you get maybe
A day.
a day
Yeah.
of rehearsal to find out where all the tech works, and then you open.
Right.
And it's fast.
Yeah.
But like if you're like doing an equity show on Broadway, I mean, last I looked, it was like $1,500 or something a week to be in the chorus.
Well,
I could do that.
Oh,
but
Might hold
so
up a
like
tree,
they
but-
don't rehearse.
they rehearse
year
in
in
studio.
advance.
Oh no, God no.
It's-
Oh God no. It's a couple of weeks
Oh,
at the
okay.
most. you
Yeah.
know. And
And you get one dress like actually on location.
and then you open.
Interesting.
And they run as long as they're profitable.
As long
Is
as
that
they're
it?
profitable. I mean,
Yeah.
there's shows that there are some shows in history that have closed after one performance.
Okay.
Interesting.
Ellen
Brutal.
Burstyn was in one. The last living Confederate widow tells all. I think it was that lasted one show.
Well,
And that was
Confederate, isn't it? So
like a decade ago.
Okay.
And
Wonder why.
oh no, it wasn't like yeah, you go Confederates go.
Oh,
you
gotcha.
know.
I mean, that's the assumption, I guess. I would get.
Well,
That's
and
my
could have
favorite
been.
soundbite so far. Yay, go Confederates, go.
Don't take that out of context, because that to me the Confederate flag, that to me is like the participation trophy that people still like
There
to
you
wave
go.
around.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Well, on
some
the
history
theater
there.
subject, my biggest one I still want to see is Wicked.
I saw the original Broadway cast.
And
You can touch me if
I
you like.
just-
As I said. Idina
I saw
Menzel and
Wicked.
Kristen Chenoweth.
I'd love to go.
It
I
comes
looked
to
at
Seattle
tickets.
every year.
No,
Does it not?
it wasn't here last year, but it went on sale last year, and tickets sold pretty fast. But they were still going like 145 plus.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I was gonna take my sister, and I was like,
That
There's
is the
just
hard
no
part
way.
sometimes. Is sometimes theaters are just so damn expensive to get into, you know. And
I mean, they're playing for like 10 days in Seattle, and they were
Yeah.
still that expensive. And
Yeah.
that is like 2 to 3 shows a day. I mean,
That's
they
great.
had weekdays.
I'm in the wrong
one
business.
I mean, yeah. So
Have you directed at all?
yeah.
Would
I
you,
just
what,
did-
what would you rather?
No,
No.
because then I don't get to play.
Yes.
Once it's open, and then I just sit there like a grandmother, going, "Okay, guys, you can
Yeah.
do it."
Yeah.
And root cheering them on, and
Is there not much day of once you're
As a
on that
producer?
side of things?
probably not.
There shouldn't be. Is that how it works? Like,
day of.
yeah, like when you're actually to the production, you're going, you're playing as the director, you're hands off.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah.
I every once in a while I'll see something that might need tweaking.
Yeah.
But I once it's open, it's theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and they've worked hard, and I just did back in January. Witness for the Prosecution, Agatha Christie's Witness for the Prosecution,
Okay.
played at the Playhouse, and 12 Angry Men was in 2017, and then there
remember
were
hearing that
none in
one.
2013, and yeah.
Um,
But I would much rather play.
Yeah. I get that.
That makes sense.
Speaking of the Playhouse, did I see some talk about that getting closed down? Is
No,
that-
it's not going. Not if we can help it.
Okay.
Let's just put it like that.
I was very
with
curious
with
about
the sale.
that.
The problem is the Playhouse is landlocked as a building, and I don't
Uh-huh.
know
Right.
how that happened. That they were able to get the building without any parking, and with the PUD selling its space, it has the potential to lose parking. And,
Okay. And that's what it is right now. It's all borrowed parking then.
yeah, it's all
It's all
kind of-
PUD land.
yeah, PUD landed promissory that you guys can use our space, but if it's gone, you know, and
Right.
I'd hate to see that beautiful little theater.
Now, didn't I
Go
see
away.
something circulate though that there could be
Well, we came out with there was
process or something of
there was something going
coming
around
down
back in March, I think it was, that we were trying to get people to come out and say, hey, let's, keep the theater going, keep the theater going.
Yeah.
Don't forget the theater.
Did that get some good traction?
I think so. People really turned out for it, and
That's
that
good.
made me very happy to see that. Because the arts, this is a beautiful area for arts, and the theater arts and performances. And we're so damn lucky that the talent that we have here in the surrounding areas of Central Washington, that we're just kind of the shining gem. There's a lot of great talent in this town.
There's a lot of
More than
talent.
just myself, of course.
Yes. A big, I think, partner for, just as an idea, would be the Chamber. I mean, partnering with the Chamber on that, because I know downtown in general already has a big heartfelt about the PED moving, because they believe that'll kind of impact that income in terms of how many PD workers eat out, shop on lunch, that type of stuff. So they'd be a really great partner if you can put a bug in someone's ear. I'm sure they might already be doing that.
Yeah, but I'm just an entertainer, They listen to me.
You're staying off the board.
No board for me.
No comment. Well, I know the person to talk to, and I'll talk to her.
There you go. Okay.
So
I love it. So you would rather play, this was a question I had thought of earlier. If on the directing side of things, you had your ideal ensemble and you had your budget, what would you most like to put on as a production?
Every time I get done directing, I'm like, okay, that's it. I got that out of my system. And yet there's a play called The Bad Seed.
Okay.
That kind of interests me. It was done as a film in the 50s. And there's this girl she's not right, and she might have hurt some people, and the mom starts to suspect as much, and it's a chilling little piece, and I think that'd be fun to put on.
Interesting.
Cool.
In surround sound, interesting.
Yeah,
that was kind of
like
groovy.
that?
You guys said it at the same
you
time.
Get both sides on
it's
that.
like you're
we
married.
think a lot.
Yeah. You're trained. You went to school for theater?
Yes, I graduated from the American Musical and Dramatic Academy.
Okay.
Where's that? Seattle?
Manhattan. Yeah.
Okay.
And I've had my phone number, my cell number, since 2000. I moved there June of 2001 to the city, and I've had that phone number since then, and I'm not going to change it. So people will, well, it's 917. It's New York.
It's New York, of
That's
course.
funny. I've had my phone number since I was, how old am I? So 12 years. How long ago is 12 years?
I don't know. It's 19.
2007.
Seven.
Yeah. So I've had the same phone number since then. And it's hard to even just think about not having it though.
Oh yeah, no,
so many people have
couldn't.
my phone number.
No, I say it so many times in a joke that I can't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they're like, yeah, you can add a new line and get a free phone. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to change my phone number. That's more important than a free phone.
So, did you try the New York grind?
I lived there for
a while?
many years.
Yeah.
I lived up after I graduated high school. I lived up on 148th and Broadway in Spanish Harlem. They're calling it Hamilton Heights now, but it's Spanish Harlem. And anybody that tries to correct you is wrong. Because then because I'll get people, it's actually Hamilton Heights.
Yeah.
I like to go up there and tell them,
Yeah.
and see what you get.
Take the personal.
Yeah. And I lived off the number 1 line and between the 1 and the A train. And now you're moving all your stuff.
all my stuff. Okay.
This plant?
Yeah, it's fake anyway, so
is
that
it?
can
Oh, I was
My
over
mom bought that as my first desk gift when I got my first desk job.
Lovely. It's a lovely desk.
It's an owl.
It's looking
the
at
fake
me
grass.
I love owls.
now. Yeah, owls.
So.
Who doesn't?
Yay. Yahtzee.
But no, I loved, when I first got there, it was so Titanic to me. I mean, because I'd never been there before.
Yeah. Was that your first city experience out of Wenatchee?
Oh, no. I mean, I'd been elsewhere before, but that was the first time I'd seen New York.
Right, okay.
And coming over the hill in Jersey, my father and my sister and they drove me out there, and my mother flew out and met us. And coming over this hill in Jersey, and I saw the 2 towers, and then I saw the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building, and then just this massive city. And I thought, oh my God, getting out and when the hotel we were going to stay at before they moved me into the dorm, Stratford Arms Hotel, which is in Catcher in the Rye. Used to be a whorehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it became a kind of an insane asylum for elderly people, and then Amd bought it at the school I went to, and then they didn't have the heart to move out the super crazy, so some of them were still there.
Whoa.
That was
that's
pretty,
awesome.
oh, it was fascinating.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. So you were there during
Yes.
9/11.
Yeah, and I, yes, I was.
Interesting.
It-
Probably a significant time in life for you.
Yes, and after the attacks, yeah, it was kind of like, if I can live through this, I can live through anything, and that was, even now I can't. If I hear a too close a plane, I gotta watch it,
Interesting.
and yeah, it screwed me up pretty good. And it still does. I've when the anniversary happens, I'm just sad, and I've just come to accept the fact I'm just going to be sad today. And who knows? Maybe this anniversary I won't. You don't know,
Right.
But it comes, and people will say, "Oh, well, it was this is what really happened. This is you got to watch this film. It'll open your eye." There is nothing I could see that won't because they timestamp. Films like that, they always timestamp.
Right.
Here's what's happening now.
Yeah.
There's not a time that I can't look at my watch that day and not remember what I was doing. Well, not 18 years ago now. I know it was. I mean, that is seared in there. And it was one of the. I mean, because there was bad things that I remember that had happened globally, or well, not even just in the United States.
Sure.
The Oklahoma City bombing and Columbine and things that shook me, that were sad, but to live through an event like that is so much bigger than yourself, it changes you, and,
When you were there.
yeah, and there's times, like walking around Wenatchee, because I'm a pretty happy person and I like to talk to people, but I can't talk sometimes on that day, and I'm not, but you get on autopilot, you go into Mela to get a coffee or something, and hey, how you doing? And I don't want to talk about it, because I'll just want to cry, but I'm just not thinking about it because I'm on autopilot. It's not like I'm wanting to go and put myself in that position, but you're just not thinking. And then you say it to people here, and they anybody living at that time really. They can tell you exactly what happened, where they were, what they were doing, and who called them to tell them to turn on the television, but the fact that I am still sad about it, and everything that happened, people, they don't seem to understand that, and they can't, because that's my own screw up, in here.
Yeah, but I think there's a difference between watching it and experiencing it.
Yeah.
In person.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, I could tell you the exact same day too of how I found out, but does it emotionally impact me? No, because it was on a TV.
Yeah, and I was also probably a lot younger. I
Yeah.
don't know how old
And
you
Well,
me
are.
too.
how old are you guys?
I'm 30
I'm
Okay.
28.
And I'm
So I
I
was
was
only-
19
at
when
the
it
time.
happened,
Yeah.
I was only 12.
So I'd have been in
10
6th grade.
or
Yeah,
whatever.
and we were
Yeah.
living in the middle of nowhere in Oregon. So
And having a beer. And...
not at 12.
I
but
it's a
should
joke.
have
It's
been.
just a joke.
That should have been. No, so and what's fun, I didn't realize the impact of it until the next year when we had moved back to civilization. I kid you not, we were living on a ranch that was I don't know, maybe 40
might know
staff
it.
members. You would know it. It's Wild Horse Canyon. It's owned by Young Life now. It's famous for if you had watched Wild Wild Country, because it's former Rajneeshpuram. If you know about the Rajneeshis, or have you seen that documentary?
And I can't say
Oh.
that I have.
Oh, interesting.
Okay, it's
I
one
didn't
worth
either
watching.
until I was with him.
It was
so.
formerly owned by a cult that had started in India, and they moved to the United States essentially to start their own city, which they successfully did.
Oh, yes, I
yeah.
have heard of I
Yeah.
have heard of these people.
So I lived there.
Yeah.
In the middle of nowhere when
With them.
9/11 happened.
Not with the cult.
them,
Oh, I was
no.
going to say.
We were 8 to 10 years after them. It was bought by Young Life. I'm not sure if you know the organization. They send kids to camp.
Yeah,
It's-
Young
it's-
Life.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
But my dad was on staff there. I was living literally just in the middle of nowhere when it happened. So in 6th grade, it wasn't until 7th grade that we moved back to Wenatchee. And for the first time, I even saw the footage. I was literally that removed from it while it happened. So I I can tell you where I was, and that we
See,
were-
and there's nothing that'll get me to cry faster than if somebody shows me, or because
Yeah.
sometimes
Oh,
you just
sure.
it'll pop up and there it is, and
Yeah.
it's like nope.
yeah.
Going, I don't like people to be mean to each other, and I don't like watching violence, and I mean, so cinema here is. We
all
love
they
our
want.
violence here, in the United States. And
Is that a mainly American thing?
yeah, because you get to Europe and you get a lot more sex on the screen, and I like that. Sex is
Yeah.
wonderful. People having a good time, and
Yeah.
but unless
Interesting.
it's violence of sex, then I don't
Right.
like watching
That's a
that.
whole
Correct.
other thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and but I like I like comedies, and I like people. I just like my grandmother Melba used to say, just be nice to people,
Yes.
Hey,
and she'd clap her hands like that too.
That's great.
that's good advice for everyone.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting to know. I didn't know that, so that's good to know. I didn't
just
know a lot
people.
about you.
Oh.
No, just in general. Like you lived in New York.
So
and
that's your freshman year.
Oh yeah, that was. I mean,
That's like
that
right
was,
when you moved there.
Yeah, I got there. I moved there June. I got there June 24th, 2001.
So only 3 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
That's a shocker.
but
And you lived there till what year?
that's a great question. I wasn't prepared. 2008.
Oh, you were there a while.
Yeah, and then I was in Pahrump, Nevada for a little while with my
Interesting.
parents.
Okay.
And they lived
the
here
answer?
and they moved down there, and then
Okay.
I spent a lot of time in Las Vegas, which I don't know.
Not a fan?
I'm not a fan of Las
How do you feel
Vegas.
about Reno?
I've never been.
Oh,
I haven't been to Reno.
I almost like Reno more than Vegas.
I've heard that. I've heard that Reno's a lot more fun.
We're
But
going to
it's-
Vegas in August.
We are going
so.
to Vegas in August. I'm looking forward to that. Too.
Oh,
It's
well,
gonna
I
be
wasn't
great.
trying to spoil
No,
our
no, 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 no.
vacation.
I've only been once.
No,
And I can't even give you like the real experience. Like,
the farthest other than like I've been to L.A., but like I've
I
always
loved LA.
I've always
I
wanted
have
to go
to
to
say.
Mexico. I've never been to Mexico. I've been to Hong Kong. I've
too.
been to Japan, but I have not. It's our border.
well, we've been to
It's right
Cozumel,
there.
and I will not suggest Cozumel.
Okay.
Go somewhere else.
Okay.
Don't go to Cozumel.
If you're looking for Coke, boy, do they try to sell it to you just walking down the street.
See, and I'm
though.
more of a Pepsi man myself.
Yeah, of course.
and they
Innocent.
Cozumel doesn't have the nice beaches. You have to go like Cancun or
Yeah.
I don't know.
It
what
was
the-
it was an interesting spot. We were only there because a cruise ship dropped us off, so I don't think we would have
That's
picked
true.
it specifically.
Yeah.
Well, I get to go to Vietnam in January.
Now-
my first vacation since 2008. I'm
No.
so excited.
That's
Well
where
deserved.
that's where your husband's from?
Yes,
Is from Vietnam?
Pat's from Vietnam.
and he lived,
Originally your parents, or did he move
Yeah.
over?
Oh no, he was actually the last one to move here.
Okay.
And he got here in 2006.
Okay.
Yeah. And we met in Seattle.
Okay.
I just happened to be on his day off. When the fires were so bad here in 2012, the smoke was so thick you couldn't see
Yes.
across the street.
I lived in Denver
Oh,
still at the
lucky
time.
you.
I
Yeah.
specifically remember it.
I don't
Oh, it
remember
was
though.
awful.
It was during the days
I remember
of
posts.
skinny Luke, and I was still outside running in it, and people would just glare at me.
I was
like,
driving
what are you
tractor for
doing?
Paul Atwood out in his orchard.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
And you'd hit the
Cherries.
tree and ash would just, it was just
Oh, man.
awful. And pals of mine said, "Do you want to go to Seattle, take a breath?" Which, sure, yeah. And it just happened to be his day off, and I was there that one day, and that's when I met him.
Where'd you meet?
Seattle wasn't smoky.
No,
Oh, that's good.
shocker. No, you could see the smoke though from
Yeah, I'm sure.
the valley because the sun was just pink, and
Yeah.
and we met at a bathhouse.
Oh.
Be open and honest about all this, I suppose.
Hold
Yeah.
on a second. We just say, oh, like what is a modern day bathhouse?
It's kind of, to me, it's fascinating.
I'm fascinated right
Well,
now.
to
I'm
me-
gonna be so honest. I don't know what about this.
Well, I'm glad you're sitting down. It's just it's almost like a silent sexual ballet. It's very polite.
interesting.
It's very like if somebody's interested in you, they will reach out and put a hand on your thigh. And if you're interested, it's okay. The hand can stay, or just a little tap on the wrist, the hand goes away. And it's very quiet. Nobody talks to anybody.
What's the actual physically? Is it a sauna? What are you doing?
Yeah,
a steam room?
Yeah, it was Steamworks in Seattle. That's where I
Oh
went.
my gosh,
was
I
with,
love this.
with some friends of mine. But I was with the kind of friends because I am a very comfortable person
Sure.
with who I am. But to me, that is too easy. You know, I'm not a prude, but it's too easy. It's
Okay.
just people, guys in towels. Come on. Or sometimes not. Sometimes just wearing a smile.
Yeah.
Right.
Or a frown if it's been a bad day.
Right.
But it's too easy, and I didn't want to go. But I was with the type of friends, because I love my friends, but they're kind of dumb. And they would have been driving back to Wenatchee going, wasn't Matthew? And there I'd be sitting in the city. So I went,
Oh, gosh.
and I saw somebody look just as bored as me. And so I thought, okay, go say hi. Just somebody to talk to instead of just sitting there.
Right.
Yeah.
And even though that's like what they don't do, you don't talk. And I don't care. I want to say hi to people. And so I go over and I'm, hey, how you doing? And I'm just getting a smile and a nod. And, hey, how you busy tonight, isn't it? Smile and nod. You don't know what the hell I'm saying, do you? Smile and nod. But through some sort of communication, we finally talked. And a week later, I thought, why not? He gave me his phone number and find out that he's from Vietnam, speaks 5 languages. English is his 5th, and it was all self-taught from 2 books. And then a week after that, I got a call. You come see me, I go see you, together happy. And he was in Wenatchee.
Okay.
Came to surprise. Well, hi. And a year to the day later, we got married.
Wow.
And our marriage is still...
So how long have you been married?
It'll be 6 years in September.
Wow.
My mother totally called it. When my little brother got married, she said that somebody who didn't know who I was, which is, it's their fault. But they didn't know who I was, and they said, is he married? And Mother said, well, first he has to find somebody, then they have to legalize it. Well, I met Pat September 2012, and we legalized it here in November that year.
Yeah.
Right.
So Mother was right. Damn it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Again.
So is his English good now? Better?
It's better. Yeah. It's better than my Vietnamese or Cantonese.
Yeah.
That's
I know
wild.
enough to get by. Like if I'm in a rush and if I'm performing in drag at the theater, I'll say "Gala ai Biu Ying," and I'm out the door.
Yeah.
Or "Amla ai Biu Ying" is I'm just a guy at the theater.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's
That's a great
awesome.
story.
And he does
is this
not
one
mind-
of those bathhouses where they beat you with sticks? Where do you go to those ones?
Oh, hi.
What?
No, there's-
Amsterdam? My
Yeah,
There's
probably.
some type of bath where it's supposed to be good for your skin, and they'll smack you
yeah.
with the
You know,
sticks.
I went to a
He was totally on the different page.
I
Different
was-
kind of sticks. Yeah.
Different sticks.
I want to know what those sticks are.
No, I went to this massage parlor in Hong Kong. And, here in the United States, you get your massages. It's like, oh, that loosened me up. She
Oh.
beat the living hell out of me.
Oh my.
And for an hour. And
Oh my
one of
God.
our dollars was 10 of theirs when I was there. And so it was nothing that I paid. And I thought, well, this is going to be, but she had, I walked it, there's poles on the ceiling. And she was up on those,
Yeah.
grinding her feet into my back. When I was done, I felt like a pillow.
I don't know if I could.
I
do
didn't
that.
have any solid tissue anymore. The bones were just mush. But I sat up and I had yellow tears coming out of my eyes.
Yellow.
Those
No
toxins.
kidding.
Yeah, it was like I was peeing out my eyes.
Whoa.
And they're just handing me tissues like, this is what happens. And I felt fantastic. It was like a drunk because then I had to
That
go meet
sounds
people
scary.
at 10 o'clock in the morning. And then I'm, what? What?
That's
You need like a
and-
week off after it
Yeah,
or
well
something.
then, fortunately, my friend's like, oh, he just left. Oh, go home, drink some water.
yeah, right.
You got it.
That's an all-day affair, huh?
I love
Yeah.
massages, but I can't. I have to have nothing to do after, in general, and that's just a massage.
Yeah.
I can't imagine doing that.
Oh man, she was fabulous.
I've never had a professional massage once in my life.
Luke doesn't even let me touch his butt.
Okay.
So
Well,
Tell me
Yeah.
how this started.
it's a ticklish thing more than anything.
Welcome to
If
He's
Katie,
super ticklish.
If Katie didn't do light touch, I can do. If you put your
I
hand
love the
on me, I'm
light touch.
fine.
Though. Like personally, I love light touch. So of course I do it because
Yeah.
it's what I like.
I don't like being tickled at all.
I'm not
actually.
tickling you. I'm
See,
just
and
touching.
I can't play with Pat's ass either. Because I'll reach over and the noise I get.
Exactly.
That's familiar.
Yep. That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh, that's funny.
We were 4 months. Well, we knew each other in high school, and then 4 months dating, and then married within the year.
And how long have you guys been married?
3.5.
Three and a half.
Three-ish.
Shit, yeah,
Three, yeah.
whatever. We've been together about 4 years.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Couples Counseling
Yeah.
with Matthew Pippin on NPR. I'm so
It is
happy
the
we can talk with
weirdest
our
thing,
voices.
though, that we got married, and we were invited to several groups for couples counseling.
Oh,
Oh,
it
like
was
immediately.
weird. Like,
You know, I had that happen too. Now that I think about it, people saying, "Well, you know, that way when you guys you can be what you were when you first got it." Why? You gotta
Yeah.
grow as a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's helped us. We've grown a lot in the 4 years, and we're pretty strong, I think. But it's interesting that we got all these invites and suggestions.
It's because then it's like when anybody suggests it to you, it's like, well, what's wrong with your marriage that you want?
Well, I was like, is there something wrong with my marriage that I'm not catching? Like,
Or that I
was
don't
like,
know about.
am I missing something? But
My wife is a saint to put up with any of my antics, honestly.
Oh,
Thank you.
my husband, he does not. He'll come see a show once at least, and if he doesn't like it, he does not mind telling me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, he'll. No, that one no good. Too much talking, but it's okay.
Oh, that's funny.
But
Hey,
then if
honesty.
he likes it, he'll come at least twice, and
Oh,
he's
that's
like,
good.
"Yeah, I see you again. Good."
has he been to Radar Station open mic yet?
He hasn't come to. Oh, that doesn't interest him.
No.
Too much.
Okay.
He likes something super funny, or he likes something bright colors and flashes. And
Yeah.
so he likes action and things like that. So to watch people just
So
stand there and
Luke's,
talk, it
Luke's
doesn't
comedy
interest him.
doesn't wouldn't do it.
Oh, boy.
Or mine doesn't either.
I'm
He
just
doesn't like
joking.
it when I do
I
it.
give him a hard time.
Yeah, I'm not feeling good about comedy right now anyway.
I don't think anybody ever should.
No.
It's something that
If you
puts
felt
on
settled,
guard.
you'd never grow,
No.
right?
Oh no, it's frightening. Well, and stand up is such a different beast.
Oh.
Because one people can talk back to you, you know, and because if they do it in the theater, you can ignore it and keep going.
Right.
Or the house manager, they'll come throw them out. But stand up, people heckle you, and
Yeah.
if you're bombing, it's like, well, I gotta get the hell off the
Yeah.
stage. Thanks, have a good night.
I've said stuff where I'm like, oh, I could do stand up, and then I think about getting up there and I'll be like, oh, I
I'll
don't
tell
do
you
stage.
what,
Like, I am
on-
the person who doesn't.
Wednesday, I think I was on stage for 3 minutes. I don't think I remember any of it. I know it went bad enough that I was only up there for 3 minutes. I think I had just the perfect amount to drink where I don't have to even deal with it because I
but
don't
then
remember a split second.
The week
of being
before,
up
you
there.
totally scored though.
The week before, I'm gonna continue to remember that. Yeah, Wednesday, I've successfully blocked.
Well,
I had just the
unfortunately
perfect
for
amount
him
of
too,
scotch.
before he went on stage, we had made the attempt. Well, not the attempt. We made it that Basaya, or however we say her name,
Messiah, yeah.
Basaya, and Troy were gonna come and podcast. So I left. Like, I left open mic, came up here to get in here ready, and
That was definitely more on my mind than doing any sort of.
yeah. So I think
set
he
at
was
that
just
point.
you were distracted.
It was great having them on here. I'm stoked
But-
that they came on. It was.
Yeah, you should listen to
It
it.
was a
It's
lot of
really
fun.
funny.
It's something. It's
I was
I
telling
can
him earlier.
identify with the language barrier. I totally.
there was
Yeah,
there was
it
the
was
language
very-
barrier. Troy was great to talk to. I
But
really
she was
liked
sitting.
him.
I'm standing here. She's sitting here. We've got a guy on a stool, 2 stools, and Olga in the back, and she's on her phone, Galina, and
She was doing like a
live,
simulcast
live
on.
cast
Yeah.
with her
It was,
Russian.
it was fun.
But
I don't
it
know
got
if
like
it's much to
700
listen to.
views or something.
Like instantly.
Yeah, like-
see if I was to do
Because
that,
it was
you'd get,
morning
like,
time in
5.
Russia
Oh, that's right.
for her, is what she was telling me.
Yeah.
So for them, they were all getting up, and she went live, and
There were quite a few people
so
watching.
it was interesting. It was really good.
Anyway,
That was cool.
All
Anyway.
that to say, Wednesday was a disaster for me.
But it sounds like you scored with the podcast.
You did great.
That was a surprise. Alex Haley, he has done so much for what stand-up is in this valley. I mean, doing the Cold Winter Nights comedy. And
Well, I mean,
then-
he's kind of one who probably introduced it the most.
Yeah.
for
Oh,
sure.
I'm just yeah. So he set me up because I didn't know what the hell. Sometimes I'll just put my name in and wonder what I'm going to talk about, but then he gave me he called me Matthew Carl Pippin, and he's like, well, that's not my middle name. My middle name's Tustin. I'll talk about my grandparents.
There you go.
That's where it was their last name. Mm-hmm. And so he just set me up for something fun to talk about.
Yeah, it was great.
I didn't know what the hell I was going to do until I got up there.
Oh, that's funny.
It was very interesting. I'm glad you shared. I liked it.
I try to
liked
be
listening.
interesting.
Yeah,
I
you're
always
good
try
at it.
to.
You're very good at
I
it.
love it. Okay, we're gonna take a quick break here. I'm gonna come back with a couple more things I want to talk about, and we can wrap this
Sure,
thing
because
up.
I still got shows to plug too.
Please,
Yes.
yes, we'll do all of that. I just have to pee. Okay. Hey, everybody, we're back from a brief break.
It was a wonderful break.
It was a great break.
Perfect.
We've thought about starting a whole separate segment of the podcast outside called Smoke Breaks. But,
We need to just put a mic outside.
yeah, if you can mic the patio
Exactly.
one of these days. Okay, Matthew, just to help us roll back in, one of my favorite questions for anyone who gets on stage regularly is, what's the worst thing you have ever done during a performance?
Oh my!
Be that however you want to define
Oh,
it. Worse
no.
for the production, worse for yourself, whatever it may be.
Opening night of Alice in Wonderland in 1997.
Oh, you got it. You got it down.
Yeah, it was May 8th of 1997. So that was, I was playing the Caterpillar, and we had gotten the rights from Disney to do their version of it, and it had been adapted to the stage for that. And if it could have gone wrong, it did go wrong during that performance. And I could mimic Richard Hayden's voice from the Disney film.
Okay.
And he spoke down here executively, what is your problem, you know? But I can't project that. And so I was mic'd. And in the Caterpillar costume, there was two other guys. And if it just everything went wrong that
Now, hold
night.
on. There were 3 people sharing a costume?
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
you
that
had to be a
sounds
long
brutal.
caterpillar. It sounds,
Oh no,
right?
it was they stood behind me.
Oh.
And there was a mushroom that I was standing on a tiny little platform with this mushroom on wheels, but the caterpillar costume went down past my feet, and and it had to be pinned to the mushroom in order for me to go out. And then I had the little black suit on underneath and the dealy boppers would be the butterfly, and they hadn't pinned it to the mushroom that night.
Oh, no.
And so when the lights came up, I was still standing on stage, struggling at standing there like Scarlett O'Hara, and I said "damn" 3 times trying to get that thing off, and my wings were nowhere to be seen. I had no idea what was happening, and then I got off stage, and I'll censor myself, but even as a 15-year-old, I was quite the vocabulary. What the was wrong with this? I believe this. I mean, on and on. And the last thing the audience heard was, with my luck tonight, my mic is still on.
Oh, no. Oh, that's
man.
incredible.
But I did have a hell of a curtain call.
I love that. Okay.
That was my worst.
Okay.
We did have a technical glitch last year. I won't name names. It was Kylie Boggs. She works at the Pack.
Huge shout out.
Yeah. And she, in the final moment of the full Monty, we did go full Monty. We were totally naked on stage, the 6 of us guys. And if you double tap a light board, it'll automatically go to the next cue. Well, when we would do the full reveal, let it go. Do we do this full reveal? We'd have in our hands the security guard hat and the G-string and the other everything. But it's just, it's a song, so you end with your and there would be a bright light flash. The audience couldn't see anything as we revealed, and then blackout. And then we'd get off stage, put robes on, come out. Well, she double tapped it, and we're still posed, and lights came up, and it was, woo!
Oh, man.
Oh my goodness.
And now we're crab walking off stage.
Oh, that's the best. I love that.
I did hear that was a fantastic show. I wanted to go, and every time I looked for tickets, it was sold out.
Oh, it really was. I love working the Hot August night shows. There's so much blood, sweat, and tears that go into that in fantastic ways. I love them so much. I have them tattooed on my left clavicle. Is this the bone that I'm in theater? Whatever.
You would know more than me.
Collarbone. That's the word.
Collarbone, shoulder area.
Yeah.
Speaking
area.
of tattoos, this is episode number 13.
It is. Yes, and I even have a 13.
Yeah, so that's what I heard. What's the significance?
Pat's lucky number.
That's just it.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
it was meant to be.
Yeah, of course, after I got it, then people were like, well, that's a gang thing. Oh, shut up. It's,
Yeah.
Like, over Asian countries, 4 is the unlucky number.
Oh, interesting.
And if you go to the hotels, and like here, we don't have, if it goes,
We don't have 13.
Not here in Wenatchee, but we don't have 13. Yeah.
Right.
Over there, they won't have the 4th floor, 14th floor, 24th floor, anything with 4 in
Nothing
it.
with 4.
Because the
Very
word sounds a
interesting.
lot like death.
Okay.
And so it's...
I could see a lot of people getting you confused with a gang member, so
you know. Well, I've had a few. I did live in Harlem, you know.
Yes.
Now there was a gang that hung out in the building that I lived in, and there was one time I was this kid across the street from me was killed by the police. He would call these delivery services up, and it was New Year's Day of 2003, and he'd call these deliveries up because everything in New York gets delivered. You know,
Right.
Here it's pizza. Jimmy John's if you're in the right area, but you know, pizza is what you can
We're
get.
lucky right here. I
Yeah.
get my Jimmy John's delivered.
Oh, hey.
There is a new delivery company for that.
Oh, there is?
Yeah, Dashing Drivers.
Oh, I didn't know he expanded on.
Yeah, Dashing Drivers, you can go to their website and they have specific restaurants uploaded.
Oh.
And you can get their menu and order it and they'll deliver it.
Well, see, and I still like, you know, when I got to get news at him, like, get the telegram boy in here. So news to me.
There you go.
And I just
welcome,
haven't got that
Dashing
telegram
Drivers.
yet. But anyway, this kid got killed, and now I'd see these guys hanging out in the building. You know, they got the tattooed tears, you know. But I'd say hello every time I walked by, and they were always chill. And there'd be times I'd be higher than a kite just walking by them, you know. But this kid got killed, and he had a BB gun, is what it was. And they had done the sting operation because enough holdups had happened that they sent this team in. Well, drop the gun. He didn't drop the gun. They shot him. Well, it's a BB gun.
Bummer.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know about any of that. So I'm walking down the street, and this was about white power. This is white power. Behind me, these two giant gentlemen. And I thought, well, I've had a good life. But I round the corner, and there stands Dune, leader of this. Why are you talking to him like that? Well, you know, after what happened. No, that's family. You don't mess with my family. And I'd always just said hi to him.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
But then he asked me what time I got off of work, when I'd be back. And he, at 145th Street, you stand there waiting for me when I got home. And that was the only thing that ever happened to me in Harlem.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's amazing.
Just a hello can go a long way.
It really can.
Wow.
Just like Melba says, just be nice to
Yeah.
people.
That's a heartfelt story.
Yeah. I
like
Thank
it.
you for sharing that.
No, he was a darling man. I hope Dune's fine. I
Yeah.
wish him best. I didn't want to know how he got the tears. You know, I hope he's just not a sad person.
Oh,
I don't
man.
know if that's what they are.
But you never know.
Yeah, for sure.
Interesting. Wow.
I hadn't thought of that story in years. Yeah.
Wow.
Dune.
That's a good story.
Yeah. But anyway, so you want to know about shows I got
I
coming
want to know what you
Yeah,
have coming
we
up.
wanna know.
That's why I'm here. Well, you know, I'm getting naked
Not really,
next
but yeah.
Wednesday
Okay.
at the radar station.
Right.
But that's not really a show, but
If you want to come.
I'm just going to come with a doodle pad. I don't know how to draw anything, but
just so you
Don't
can
let
make
him
a
do the
flip book of it.
downstairs.
Well, and Mother says if the fly shows up again, you know, is it really nudity at that point?
Oh,
If it's
right.
covering it. You know. She's a darling lady.
I don't know her. I like her already.
Yeah.
But it's great.
She needs to be stopped. That's the point of my story. And then my dad's such a quiet man. He's just a darling, very quiet man.
They're both here in Wenatchee.
No, they live in Pahrump, Nevada,
Oh, okay.
by choice.
Still.
Yeah. There's camel spiders down there. I don't know why. The tarantulas, scorpions, and
I loved Denver because there was no bugs.
yeah, because
Like,
they can't
really?
live that high.
Yeah,
You
it
know,
was.
it's- when there's no
perfect.
oxygen, things die.
I moved back here and I was like, Nat, like, oh, get away from me.
I lived for a couple of months in the desert in Nevada, and I would go to sleep every night, and I would take my socks off that I had just been wearing, and I would put them over the top of my boot like a condom to keep the scorpions from getting into my boots for
yeah.
the next morning.
Oh my god.
So that's the trick I learned while I was out there.
And the bigger the scorpion, the less dangerous it is.
That is
what
true.
is that?
Oh really?
Yeah. Yeah, the small bark scorpions are like that big, you
Mm-hmm.
know. But they glow under black light. They turn green.
That
you
means
can
the
find
venom is like
Yeah.
really running through their veins, right?
They're ready to kill
Is that
you.
it?
Yeah. No, they don't know why, but scorpions
I bet
glow
that's
under
it. I
black
bet it's the
light.
venom.
It's yeah.
Okay.
I'm so not scientific in it,
Okay.
but I'll totally put my guess
Let's
in there.
reel it in. I know. I love it.
Sorry.
I
Great
know. I
guess.
got it.
Great guess.
I apologize. So yeah, I got.
So you got that's
Hand-
Wednesday.
Yeah, that's Wednesday,
Okay.
but that's not.
This will be out by then. So if anyone wants to go,
Oh, all right. Well,
Draw-
it's either this is coming
Matthew.
Wednesday or 7 years ago. I
Right.
guess this is a podcast. I could be dead
It's
by the
coming
time
Wednesday.
somebody
What
hears.
day is that? June 25th
6th.
or 6th?
June 26th. And then I start Hot August Nights rehearsals. Hands on a Hard Body is the Hot August Night show this year at the PAC. And I start that July 5th. That show opens August 1st, plays through the 17th at the Performing Arts Center.
Cool.
August 12th, I start The Elephant Man, which will be playing at the PAC, but it's through Mission Creek Players. And that opens September 12th and closes September 14th. There's 4 performances of that.
Just
Do you know
in the
where
weekend.
everyone just gets tickets for those on the website?
On the website, they can call in. It's cheaper if they go in and pay in person.
Okay.
Yeah, the fees are waived.
Yeah, no fees.
Clever.
They use the same shower as us.
Okay.
It's literally called Shower.
Oh, okay.
They use the same program. So,
Perfect.
yes.
So that's what you got coming.
That's what I've got coming.
I love it.
And Hands on a
Fantastic.
Hard Body is going to be a lot of... It's like 10 little Indians around a truck.
Okay.
And of course, we'll see you at open mic.
And
every
open
Thursday.
mics, I'll try to... this
Every-
next Thursday is my last chance, because once Hot August
You go
Night
into
starts, I'm
rehearsal.
booked until September.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, this probably doesn't matter. It's at thisprobablydoesn'tmatter.com. At that website, you need to purchase tickets to stand-up comedy June 28th. It's at the Radar Station. Tyler Smith and Mike Coletta with local guests Lauren Malloy and Michael Lee Miller is going to hop on and do 5 minutes. She's really
She's
funny.
fabulous.
Yep, I've been enjoying watching her.
Yeah,
So
I
no
love her.
one should miss that. And then you're listening to this, probably doesn't matter, so you know where to get the podcast already, obviously. Matthew, you are not off the hook just yet.
Okay.
Because this is the lightning round.
Oh, the lightning round.
Okay. It's real simple. We're just gonna go off the top of your head on these. Ready?
Okay.
Are you big party or smaller get together?
Big party.
Okay. Are you cats or are you dogs?
Dogs.
Are you antique or modern?
Antique.
Okay. Are you only able to wash your clothes once a month or only take a shower every other week?
If I had to have the option, you mean?
You get one or
One
the
or
other.
the other.
Oh man. Wash my clothes once a month.
Okay.
That's what I said.
Are you sleeping in a chair for the rest of your life, sitting up? Or are you only sleeping 1 hour at a time in bed?
I'd sleep in the chair.
Okay. And this is what I wrote just for you. Are you in the perfect production? Only one play for the rest of your life? Or are you in all of the plays, but they're all a shit show every time they go on?
One show.
You're the perfect production.
Just perfect production. I'll play that till I'm dead.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's what I had. That's your lightning round. Thank you guys for joining us, Matthew. Thank you so much for
Thank
being
you
here.
so much for having me.
an
This was so
absolute
much fun.
Blast, yeah. And to get you need to plug social media. Probably not for you.
I'll do.
Please,
I
where do we
always-
find you?
Nobody knows who the hell I
Okay,
am.
where are we gonna find you?
Huh? Where can I find you?
Yeah.
Oh, MT Pippin on Instagram
Okay.
or Matthew Pippin on Facebook.
I love it.
Perfect.
There's where you find Matthew. Thisprobablydoesn'tmatter.com. Thank you so much, and as always, please remember, none of this probably matters.